Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So we're still looking for Bahkti's parts. So let's look.
Yeah, and probably the best dungeon in the game.
Well, technically this is not a dungeon, it's a town. The one town this game has.
And guess what? No NPCs to talk
with okay, technically there is one side quest to do in here, yeah. Thing is, and yeah, there's some world building via the stuff that we can see. But yeah, like for some, yeah, this is like the one town in the game, and it's very lackluster in the grand scheme of things. So yeah.
Okay, it's lackluster by normal game standards, but by this game standards, it's, I guess you could call it the pool in the desert.
I guess it's a very shallow. It's a
buried in the desert.
It's a very shallow pool, though.
Oh, like. You know, that's the thing. It's like with Saz. Like, Saz is a basic character by most standards, but in this game, he is like one of the saving graces among our cast of characters.
Years of rust have tightly cemented the doors on these shipping containers. If they hold cargo, they do so with an unwielding grip, meaning they cannot be opened at this point.
Why don't we just break them?
Because...
Yeah, let's use Noel's head as a ram.
Sure. This is a fuel tank, judging by the look of it.
That's the point where lightning and snow hate each other.
But any liquid left inside would surely have been rendered useless by now, so they're useless. Okay, nice to know.
The lightning suddenly reverting and using Snow's head as a battering ram would be out of character.
Well, I don't know. He's still technically the strongest, and he's physical strongest of the team. So I guess he's the perfect candidate.
Alright, so this particular road...
use our weapons.
So this particular road leads to the end of Chapter 11, but we're not going to go there just yet. First, let's actually look for Bahkti's parts. Okay, one of Bahkti's parts is actually given to you when you defeat a specific monster. I don't remember exactly if it's the specific monster in this very specific spot or if it's random. I forgot. I got this like just by normally playing. I didn't look it up. So maybe it's random. Maybe it's this one specific monster right there. One more part. I forgot if it's this specific monster or if it's just random, but it doesn't matter. Just keep killing monsters until you get it. Go on.
Weird that thief was called Vampire specifically.
Like I said, Jova, at the beginning of a game, all thieves are named after the undead enemies of the game. They're treated as such.
Basically, yeah.
The others, you get all the variants, Cast, Ghouls, Trigoi, and all that stuff.
It feels generic to lump all those monsters into one species.
Alright, more world building. I forgot. Battery pack first. Battery pack first, okay. But I feel like there's other stuff to look in here, if I remember correctly. Isn't there? Oh, never mind. I guess this one doesn't. Oh, there is one, actually. Grains of crystal sand choke the inner workings of this machine. Whatever purpose it once served is served no longer. Okay, I appreciate this, but I'm starting to notice a pattern with the with the little nuggets that we find. It mostly boils down to this thing used to be cool at one point, but now it's not. Basically, it boils. I mean, I appreciate the attempt to provide some nice little nuggets of world building for the city of Oerba, but most of it boils. Okay. Once visitors would have found their way by these signs. It is difficult to determine how long ago that must have been. You see what I mean? Yeah, starting to see a pattern here. It always boils down to this formula. This thing used to be cool at once. Now it is not. So
okay.
Go on.
You know what I found weird? The fact that we never get a flashback to see Oerba in its heyday.
Sure, I agree. I mean, especially considering how, okay, despite the strong sunlight and relative warmth of the air, this bleak landscape still evokes an unsettling chill.
That one's different.
It's interesting. Yeah, that one is different, to be fair. Which is interesting, Joe, because remember, Vanille and Fang were part of Oerba back in its heyday, so the game had a perfectly fine opportunity to just have Fang and Vanille reminisce to each other and tell the others and then cut to flashback. But it doesn't do that. Those carts seem to have been common in Oerba, functioning both to move materials and as a mode of personal transportation. So basically these carts were their personal transport, basically.
The same thing that the humans use in Wall-E.
Basically. Long ago, this train car carried passengers on their travels. Corroded and deserted, now awaits to be carried off in turn.
Yeah, so the game felt naked there for a second. It's gone back to doing it this way.
Alright, one more treasure ball. Seriously, why a treasure balls? Why not just stick with the chests like usual?
Because it's futuristic.
I mean, to be fair, it's the future, so...
And now with the metal plate, we have everything for Bahkti.
Alright, so let's go back to Bahkti and fix him.
Alright.
Let me guess, he's a secret boss.
No, he is not. Bahkti's supposed to.
Be interesting.
Bahkti's
Is
just
Bahkti like the only main side
No.
quest you can really do here?
basically yeah.
Yeah.
Bahkti is Vanille's pet robot.
Also, Saz's pistol are clipping through his coat.
That's acceptable, unlike with the lightning returns clipping.
Alright! You'd think we could take him with us, but no, we're just gonna leave him here again.
To be fair, Bahkti doesn't really have any way of helping us for what we're about to do anyway, so I can understand.
It's there just
Whoa.
to tell us, oh, you did a thing enough times. Cool.
Congratulations,
I mean-
you are a true Pulsian pioneer.
Eh?
You'll see. But somewhere out there, long-forgotten equipment still waits to be found. That's the game's way of saying, gather more equipment so you can get the trophy, dipshit. Rumor has it that hitching a ride from Soya Springs on the Falsia Atomas will allow you to reach a secret scratch of Mahabharata. That's a little hint for you, to get back there later. Because remember, Pulse is the one area you can always return back to. You obtain 10 vials of Deceptisol. You obtain 2 Ultra-Compact Reactors, basically materials to enhance your weapons, basically. You obtain a gold nugget.
You can
You
sell
can
these.
sell to get money.
Yeah, easy.
You obtain 5 vials of perfume.
Loot.
You obtain 3 platinum ingots.
Money.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And not to mention, Not to mention, Bahkti is not. Oh yeah, basically he gives you various random hints every time you talk to him. So basically, if you need a hint for something, just talk to him, to Bahkti. But the basic gist of it is, Jova, Bahkti doesn't have any kind of combat skills. He's not like he's a near automata robot or anything. So I can understand why not. It's safer for him to stay there technically, so I don't have a problem with it. Parched laborers probably relax here after a hard day's toil. Their exhaustion adding to the savor of long-awaited refreshments.
Like, okay, I get what you mean about the development here. It feels more like suggestions as opposed to actual lore and development. It's like, oh, this could have been that. This could have been that, like we're archaeologists. And you know what? Fair and fine, but again, we never get to actually see what Oerba's like. And hell, it's not like we have 2 people who lived in Oerba who can confirm
Yeah.
stuff went this way.
The
Oh,
problem is
wait.
not- we did get that brief mentioning at the end of Dejim's Tower, where Vanille is like, oh, it's a place that is full of, greenery and everything, and then we get hit with the reality that it's now a desert place. But that's just a case of telling and not showing.
It's more like it's like me and Jova
Things
said.
that they have. They literally
Yeah.
have 2 characters who could help flesh this world out for us better. But
Yeah.
they don't use them.
It boils down to, once again, I know I keep repeating this, but it really is the primary explanatory factor, the rush development, because when you actually play through this game with the development history in mind, it becomes so clear that this game that didn't even use even half of the content that they originally made.
Also, the characters are literally going to the ends of a road for some reason.
Yeah, lack of subtlety and everything.
Like, don't get me
Well,
wrong,
to be fair-
gameplay-wise, I get it, but
And I also like the scenery as a whole. The
no, sure.
and everything. You can tell this was a concept art that they managed to actually pull in.
Not to. I don't know. I feel like the visual language in this particular scene is perfectly fine. It's not like it's not like in Spielberg's AI where they literally show you the robot with a heart figure right there in front of the camera. Gee, I guess I wonder what that's supposed to mean. So I've seen way worse visual symbolism in media.
I was mainly going off of the fact that, story-wise, why would the characters go to literally the end of a road, which is
Ideally to search Oerba top to bottom. That's what they wanted
All right,
to do.
so
some way on how to defeat the Falsi.
this upcoming cutscene is kind of interesting because I kind of like the implications that this bit has. Go on, let's check it out. And we're about to get the white snow shot.
Ragnarok. Come
Oh,
down,
is that Laura Bailey I hear?
pulse the sea.
By the way, these lyrics that are being recited are the English translation of the Latin used for the Fighting Fate music.
Fallen souls might bear our plea to hasten the divine's return. O piteous wanderer, Ragnarok.
Suddenly Sarah.
This day, a brave epoch. Deliver the divine. Ragnarok. What?
Sarah, how did you...
This is totally not a trap or something.
Yeah, it's probably
From Mom.
I was waiting for you to open your eyes.
And then she stabs Snow in the back.
Yeah, says is the right call.
Yeah.
I knew what was happening. I kept trying to think of a way to save
Also,
the
camera.
There you go. At least Snow realized it himself as well.
You get it now.
These close-ups.
close-up.
These close-ups.
Miracles to save
Oh,
us.
and there's the owl
Minerva.
earlier.
That's why we have to call one. Destroy Orphan. We'll save the world. Stop
Why would we want to destroy
We can do
orphans?
that.
She basically means destroy. She's basically telling them to destroy the world. And
There you go.
and there you go. Lightning's first name is Claire.
Specifically Eclair, but there is more diminutive.
Cool. Her actual name is a generic name by Final Fantasy standards.
So let me get this straight.
Dude,
on.
we cuddled.
Snow is about to go number 2.
So let me get not bartender, sorry. So the Super Pope transformed physically into a woman and hugged that woman's fiance. Yeah.
to have the facade
Wait,
go
oh
on.
my god, guys! Liam O'Brien was Laura Bailey all along.
Actually, this is
it's funny you say that.
Scott Bull on Jova.
To Jova's credit, this does sound like the kind of voice Lime O'Brien would give to this character if he was voicing him.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, Joe.
Why?
Oh no, because they're really close friends, so it's just that's funny.
Yeah, you've already told.
There's the robotic owl from before, which was spying on us all along.
Yes, Daisley. Go on.
It's not just that, Jova, it's Daisley's familiar, the catalyst that he uses to transform, and the airship that they use to arrive here.
Yes, Daisley, we are. Oh, there you go. See, turns out Daisley took Sid out of his crystal stasis and appointed him as the new Primarch.
Yeah, Fauci can literally just take you out of the whole
Essentially,
ice thing.
as you mentioned, Daisley's strong arming,
Well,
difficulties to get into action.
Well, remember, Jova, they're the ones who put you into crystal, so obviously they have the power to take you out of it.
Essentially, if they do nothing, Daisley prefers to just take desperate measures in at someone else, at least get as close as they can to destroy Orphan.
Basically, the world believes that they killed Daisley, and now Sid Raines is appointed the new ruler of the world. Unfortunately, now the cavalry, which, as you recall, Sid founded to go against the government, will see him as a traitor.
My God, are you still talking?
I'm not gonna lie, Daisley is one of those villains who loves to hear himself talk, but he is not really that entertaining when
Trust
he
me,
does.
it's this trilogy especially Lightning Returns.
You know what it would have helped? Actually fighting him in human form.
That too. Okay. Yeah. Basically boss battle.
This sucks.
And this.
Oh god,
yeah.
this fight.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Okay. Again, here's what you do. Just use your paradigm, your buffing paradigms to debuff them and buff yourself, and then just do the usual Ravager commando combo to stagger him and hit him. That's basically it. And by the way, and trust me, I am not spoiling anything by saying this, so don't worry. Trust me. It gives me time. It gives us time to talk about it. Yeah. We just reached the entire end of Oerba. Now allow me to remind you that the whole reason we even came to Pulse to begin with was to try to find a way to get rid of our brands, because maybe there's some answers in here. Yeah, it turns out there's not, so this entire chapter was just a waste of our time. Once again, we've been bumbling around with no direction, and we accomplished exactly nothing. Zero. Bupkis.
Now keep in mind, this was arguably the best part of the game, gameplay-wise, with actually giving us some open world stuff, letting us traverse dungeon and an actual town proper level. And it turns out that it's arguably some of the most pointless parts of the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It really creates
This goes back to my theory that all that stuff was a last-minute addition.
Chapter 11 at first sounds like such a breath of fresh air, But then, by the time it ends and you meet Daisley here, you realize, oh, so basically we didn't learn anything that we came here to learn. So, and now we're going to return back to Cocoon to deal with the problems there. So meaning this entire excursion to Oerba was just a waste of time.
Also, can I just say this? The more we learn about the fal'Cie and how overpowered they are, the more idiotic you have to make the fal'Cie in order for the people to win in the party. It's like I said during Sonic 06. When your villain is this OP, you literally have to make him either incredibly overconfident to the point of being an idiot, or just make that villain an idiot in the first place for the heroes to have any semblance of a chance to win. Because that's the thing.
Sorry.
Like, and granted, maybe that's the idea, to uncover the mystery, but, when we first started this game, the whole thing around the fal'Cie felt foreboding, mysterious, and whatnot. When in reality, they can literally just turn it on and off that easily. It's like, you have to wonder if there's even really a point in learning about the fal'Cie when they just end up changing the rulebook every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I know
what we know about the fal'Cie.
Yeah, I know I'm poisoned, but he's almost done anyway, so whatever.
Again, in general, this fight just sucks. Just be glad that Pedro is actually in tip-top condition and is doing easy mode, because otherwise it's actually one of the most annoying fights in the entire game.
Yeah.
And if you take your sweet-ass time, Bartendulus inflicts doom on you.
You know what? You see, one of the easiest ways for a writer to get me to hate his work is by blatantly wasting my time. I hate having my time wasted.
In this world.
Yeah.
And man, you got any examples besides this?
I can. Do you want me to bring on the list? I have a long one, but there's a cutscene going on.
So am I.
Guys, the time has come. You know what that means?
To extend my invitation.
Basically, yeah. So we didn't really beat him, and he's just basically gonna go about, okay, you still got your job to do, so come and do it.
This was, like he mentioned, this was just another test on his own part to see if the characters had actually become strong enough.
Are we worthy?
Oh my god, shut up! I don't care about you, you're such a boring villain.
He really is. Which really... Okay, you know what's bad? I honestly have to wonder if I would take him or the villain of 13-2, who literally just shrugs off everything our heroes do.
Plot immunity aside, I will take Caius every single day.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I have my issues with Caius personally. I don't think I think Final Fantasy fans overrate him a bit, just a bit. But I have my issues with him, but even I will agree. No. Caius, at the very least, has a motivation, has at the very least an agenda that is understandable and somewhat relatable when you actually get right down to it. It's just that I find the execution a bit flawed in certain bits here and there, but that's not
and
the
guess
topic.
what? You also get to fight in both in his human form and his transformed form.
Remember, Caius, again, to sum it up, Caius wants to basically save his one best friend that he keeps seeing dying over and over and over. That's basically it. Daisley here, he just wants to summon God. Why? Because he's bored. That's it.
Well, don't you see? He wants to see his parents come back, because... I mean, God, they really don't go to depth. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, it is a problem. Like you did mention, it's the fact that they don't explain much of the Fauna Crystallis. Like you mentioned, it's more the fact that, again, I forgot the name. Bunivelze left, Pauls and Lindsay in charge of the two respective wars when it was up to do something. I will not elaborate much. Etrop was kinda busy already on her own at that moment, so those two were only in charge, and they left instead the fal'Cies to do their place and said, just have this basic instruction until Daddy comes back home. However, again, Bartendulus and Orphan, which are high up on the hierarchy, this is also why technically they have a bit more different kinds of powers compared to the other fal'Cie, decided that enough time was passed, so they wanted to manipulate the humans into essentially exterminating each other, so that the resulting blood sacrifice will bring back Bunivelze, and hopefully he will fix the whole mess.
Just to
Because,
recap,
again, the PLCs are inherently created, bad. And yeah, for some reason, you have to activate these next cutscene post Vivillon. You have to examine this Sieve Stone that doesn't do anything.
I don't even understand. Okay, so to recap quickly the dialogue, basically Sid is now in charge, doing Dicey's former position. He's running Cocoon basically, and since Rigdia feels betrayed, he's now the new head of the cavalry. The cavalry, meaning he's about to strike at the Sanctum and basically take Cocoon back for the people by force, basically. So yeah, like I said, we found absolutely jack shit in Pulse, so let's go back to Cocoon and just once again do our best to.
And Vanille can do that.
We want to know what's funny? That particular Sieve Stone is the one regarding Vercingetorix. I don't even know why is it plot relevant for this cutscene.
Because.
Cocoon, where the slaves of Lindsay dwell.
Oh look, a little hint of lore right there.
You mean to tell me that Sieve could have potentially have talked to us like this before, but the devs just decided, nah, only this one can. Or, okay, Tio, is there a lore explanation why only this Sieve can?
No, honestly, the way this cutscene actually presents information kind of baffles me, to be honest.
Okay, how I always say that if you're going to have exposition, I prefer it to have good visuals to go alongside it to accompany it.
Obviously, yeah.
This isn't quite what I mean.
Trust me, the 13 trilogy as a whole is rancid with telling instead of
trust me, Dwibs. In Lightning Returns, the characters, specifically Hope, will rabble on for like 10 minutes and without shutting up. And
you think that's bad? A ton, and I do mean a ton of stuff happens in between 13-2 and Lightning Returns, which has to be told. And told to you like you're leading a soliloquy.
Not only do they have 10-minute monologues, Dwibs, of exposition, they sometimes even repeat exposition multiple times. That game has such a complete disregard for your intelligence, Dwibs, it's remarkable.
They're also presented similar, imagine your typical dialogue in Mass Effect as you back and forth with the camera.
Even Terra himself said in our original run that got lost that, and I'm quoting him, it's literally like a broken record. Okay, to recap what they're saying, basically they realized, well, shit, we didn't find anything. I guess might as well go to Cocoon and try to help out with the war. Well, the Civil War shit.
As they're mentioning, we're kind of at an impasse here. If we do nothing, the Fal'Cie are just going to go ahead and wreck Cocoon. If we do something and defeat the Fal'Cie, well, it's lights out for Cocoon.
Sorry, Hope. It doesn't matter how many times you say that line. It doesn't really work for the. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but you didn't really earn that.
Can we, since Hope chose to say it back to, can I watch videos and
Yeah, basically. Vanille, stop touching people without permission. Can we?
Yeah. Sass said it best. Kids have gone crazy.
Revolutionaries always get caught. So you've watched United Passions too.
Can we arrest Vanille? How many times throughout this entire game does Vanille touch people without their permission?
Okay, to be fair, a lot of these other characters have done it as well, so we might as well call them all out for that.
Even Hope, I mean, he punched Snow, that's touching without permission.
Oh god, Hope tried to kill Snow without his permission, so that's
Snow, can I kill you, please?
I promise.
Guess it takes losing everything to make you see how much you have to fight for.
Okay, so to their credit, if they don't do something, Cocoon is pretty much doomed. So
oh sure, no, I get that, Jova.
Try and figure it out. It's just the way that it's portrayed makes it seem like they're going about it. Let's destroy Cocoon ourselves.
That is true, Jova, but at the same time, think of it this from the perspective of the player. At this point in the game, we're like 40 hours in. 40 hours in, and the players still... Okay, I still have no idea what the fuck the goal is. What exactly do we need to do? We're 40 hours in, and we're still bumbling around without a goal and without any indication of what exactly... Go on.
I know the goal.
Go ahead.
stop Grumpy Guy there from taking over the world.
But that's the thing.
That's not even his plan, though. His plan is literally to die. So
his plan is to destroy. That's the thing, Debs. His plan is to destroy the world. Problem is,
and he cannot do it himself because Falsi have an inherent program that essentially cannot allow him.
Let me recap things for you, Debs. He wants to destroy the world, to destroy Cocoon, and the only way to destroy Cocoon is by killing himself. Problem is, he cannot commit suicide, so he needs other people to kill him, which is why he enlisted our heroes. And if the heroes refuse to kill him, he'll just get other people to do it. So basically, it's our heroes are stuck between a rock and a hard place, basically.
Suddenly whimsical music.
Even
though we're in what's supposed to be the hopeless situation.
Okay, I mean, this is supposed to be one of those moments where you're supposed to see your newfound hope. Again, the problem is it's placed in a context that doesn't make...
Sad saying.
Like, okay, here's the problem. I get we're supposed to have hope, but where is their hope coming from? This
exactly.
is supposed to be the point where they're at their lowest, but no, it seems like they're at their brightest.
Okay, I'm guessing the idea is that Hope's speech, once again, they want to do that thing where Hope's big gift is that he's great at giving people hope with his speeches. Problem is, his speech doesn't really work because they still have no idea what to do to stop this shit from happening. So what reason do they even have to be hopeful?
So you would think that ship literally takes us to Orphan to destroy it, but no, it doesn't.
Let me see. Here's the thing. You have to understand. Okay, when you are a writer, when you are a storyteller, you need to do one. This is the most important thing you need to do to not turn the audience against you. Respect the audience's time. The audience is here to be entertained. They don't want you to ramble on with no payoff or any kind of reward for the viewer for listening to your rambling. Okay? Which is why this entire chapter 11 pisses me off so much, because, like Jova said, yes, it's the best part of the game gameplay-wise. We even have some nice...
It's superfluous.
But it's incredibly superfluous, and as a result... By the time you finish it, despite being somewhat enjoyable, it leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth. Because so basically, what you're telling me is that these 5 hours I just spent were just a waste of my time. I literally accomplished nothing.
Forget that. Sid's sacrifice is even more pointless. Like, he rebels to try and kill us, effectively dies as a seat, but no! Not only can you be brought back from being Crystal, you're eventually brought back from the dead, essentially, here and there, so... Honestly, him trying to stop us was pointless.
This is probably your favorite cutscene in the game. You forgot.
Yeah, in the original run. Well, okay, no, actually,
Also.
Go on.
Oh no, go on, Pedro.
Well, remember, in the original, in Spoonie's, even Spoonie in his review admitted that this cutscene, visually speaking, is brilliantly directed. So,
it's a great scene. In a vacuum.
In a vacuum, yeah.
Adventure what's gonna happen in this scene a couple of times.
Well, yeah, that bit is stupid.
I thought he gave the middle finger for a second.
No.
Also, remember how it's nighttime now. Just remember that.
The basic, this is just another excuse for Square to show off their...
we had a racing game like this.
To show off their pretty CGI, basically.
Yeah. Honestly, a racing game would have been a great minigame. Also, for some reason, the ship just dropped them in the middle of this race. Why?
Enjoy your chocobo, GP.
And they let the ship crash down.
Again, it's a problem of the scene on its own is good on a visual action spectacle perspective.
No, you're a fucking idiot.
Hang on. So, see where the characters just randomly fall down to the ground. Is it going to be like a Revenge of the Fallen where they wrote that bit just to explain Shia LaBeouf's car crash?
Oh, I actually like this bit, to be fair. Okay, that was good.
Why did you kill that guy?
I think it's a robot, actually. I don't think
it was one of the robots.
It's a robot,
okay,
so...
But yeah, not gonna lie, this scene actually looks pretty dang badass, and man, I wish we could actually do this stuff in the game. But I digress. This bit is awesome. Okay, I'm pretty sure that one was just an innocent racer, Lightning. But yeah, seriously, seeing everyone use their Eidolons on the racetrack, it's so cool!
In a vacuum.
Yes, in a vacuum. Because story-wise, we do have to question a lot of this stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Again,
And Vanille is putting herself against the bullets using Ekaton's various arms. Even though her head is still sticking out, so...
Amazing Spider-Man 2 logic, don't worry about
Also,
it.
did we seriously had a, Schwarzenegger one-liner?
Also, looks like Saz is indeed taking part of the racing game on his car.
So basically, Deji, you're saying that Vanille is the rider.
Yes.
Sure, why not?
like, even the Rhino had a face guard.
Yeah,
Again,
and thanks to the rise of Phoenix, which we forgot is the sun, now the weather changes.
It's one of those cases where the cutscene is operating 100% on
the character selection screen in the corner.
That's a problem with the PC version.
Yeah, I know. It still doesn't get any less funny with how
this
immersive
is actually the
it is.
track that I've been used one time in Xenogears, which is called appropriately Eden Under Siege. Specifically, again, the DCNT remix I did use.
I'm more bothered by the fact that we're rehashing with colors reskin of the other game's first boss. Sorry.
The series had this since the first title. Polish swaps,
Sure,
even for
sure.
bosses, are not really something.
Sure.
Honestly, there are much more bigger things to complain about this game.
True. Yeah.
Yes, the music is nice.
Oh, it's one of those. There you go. Thanks, Odin.
Hey, one of the bouts where an Eidolon actually can work.
Well,
because it often has to be a battle that you start with for the
yeah. You're scripted to always start that battle with Odin. So of course the battle was designed with Odin in mind. So.
And the fight is pretty much rigged, so you can actually kill the enemy easily with Odin. So
it is cool how you get victory animations if you finish a battle with the Eidolons.
And yeah, apparently, just to instigate more chaos, some portals are opening from poles, meaning that monsters from poles are showing up all over the place, causing mayhem.
Which really makes me wonder. So again, Bartendois, you... Okay. So, doesn't Daisley essentially control that ship?
The one they use, Minerva.
So why doesn't he just have it literally take them right to Orphan, since he evidently wants them to kill Orphan? Like, why have it dropped them off in the middle of that race?
Because you see, Jova. Well, you see, it comes a time once in every man's life when
shut up.
Deji, you tell him. I've got nothing.
Again,
this is Jova. It comes a part in every time's life where you have to shut up. That's all.
Oh wait, this scene. This is fine.
An army of creatures is attacking the city. It's a pulse invasion force.
I know.
The remnants, we must evacuate.
You're fired.
My God, you're such a boring Sid.
So, Reigns, is this the cocoon you dreamed of?
My dream is but a falsey's fancy now. End it.
Man, this is such a lame way for Sid to go out.
In general, we've been told that Sid has been brought back to life only to be killed almost in the next cutscene.
And so dreary, he doesn't even really get a good note to go out on.
By the way, that's pretty much it. Sid is dead, and we never see what happened to Rick Dea, by the way.
Nope, Rick Dea also drops from the plot altogether.
Well, okay, we technically do see what happens to Rick Dea later, but, it's,
We do?
Maybe you're referring to Rosh, Jova.
No. I'm referring to... We sort of see their fate later when, the Falsey do that
We
thing.
certainly are being told in a novel, I can tell you that, but I will reserve it after the game is over.
Basically, so what happened was, they decided, you know what I want to do? I want to reenact that bit in OK Connery where the villain kills the other villain to become the leader.
So again, like it's like I said before, the fal'Cie have all these powers that could easily get their wishes done, but they go about doing it in some of the most silly way possible. Like, again, you have made it clear you want them to kill Orphan, but you don't bring them close to Orphan. And in fact, you are apparently going to make it harder for them to reach Orphan. So, like, why are the fal'Cie so stupid?
Well, you see, Joe, the reason why the villain is doing this is so to make sure to see if they're worthy enough for them to reach the test.
That was what us fighting Daisley was for, though. He's already ascertained we're powerful enough. Why is he doing all this?
Well, he just doesn't want them to be complacent.
Here's the real explanation. Toriyama really wanted 13 chapters, so gotta stretch this into one more chapter before chapter 13 happens. But yeah,
we'll see what happens in the next part.
But yeah, it bears repeating. Like, I really cannot stress this enough. If you want to be a writer, here's your number one rule: don't waste the viewer/reader's time. Because that's the easiest way to antagonize the audience against you. Because it will create resentment and frustration. Because because people's time is precious enough as it is. So when you waste their time, all you're doing is pissing them off, and I cannot. And it's just like it makes. Okay, so basically, this entire chapter we just completed was just nothing but a waste of time. And yeah, I love it. I love it when pieces of media waste my time. It's not like I value my time or anything. So I might as well waste it playing a shitty RPG.
It's honest to goodness about the game just spinning its wheels and going to the beat of its own drum without taking a look at itself in the mirror and realizing it's not just a clown, it's the entire damn circus.
Exactly. In my country, usually we have in my country, usually we have one of those where basically we have a joke in my country where it's just, if stupidity was music, you would be a saxophone, and then somebody will answer, "Nah, you would not be a saxophone. You would be the whole orchestra." Basically. well, remember, it's the same principle as the whole clown circus thing. You know, like.
Okay, so you.
No, I'm done. Go on.
So join us next time where we encounter the new villain of the game, probably stroking his cat. I don't know.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.